For starters, let's learn how to quickly and simply decorate a watercolor background with air bubbles. Cover the paper with watercolor. Take different shades, making a beautiful base. Now, you are going to need alcohol and a medical dropper. Drip the alcohol on the wet watercolor. The alcohol removes the pigment and the clear bubbles appear on the paper. Wow, it seems like a fish just swam by. Don't know what to do during the lesson? Let's beautify the notebook with decorative elements. Patterns can be different, from interlacings and braids to complex square drawings. Let's start with an unusual flower ornament. Draw the square with an 8 cm side. Draw petals in the form of an arc. Fill the corner with strips. Draw the middle of the petals red. Our floristic ornament is ready. Draw 5 vertical sticks. Step down a cell and repeat the picture. Connect the sticks with oblique lines. Continue to weave a pigtail, alternately changing the direction of the lines. Very nice and interesting. Think of your unique pattern. Let's make life brighter with the help of original fruit stamps. You will need wide Scotch tape and a small piece of foameran. Cut out a circle from the foam. Make a drawing of a lemon wedge by pressing a toothpick. Make several work pieces of different shapes. Paste stamps on Scotch tape. Apply the paint to the foam. Roll the bobbin on the sheet. You get a juicy fruit ribbon. Bright and full of vitamins. If there was no painting brush at hand, a doll with a luxurious hairstyle will come to the rescue. Cut off a lock of hair from the doll. Attach it in the middle of an elastic band. Now, you need a candle and a wooden chopstick. Make a hole in the stick. Remove the candle from the body and cut out the metal tape. Glue the doll's hair strands to the stick. Fasten the metal tape. Clamp it with pliers. To keep the fluffy tip tight, attach the brush with a wire. A brush made of the doll's hair is ready. It paints no worse than a real one. Let's draw a picture with a push-up effect. For 3-dimensional paints, you will need soda, flour, and a little water. Mix the ingredients until smooth. Add a couple drops of acrylic paint. Stir the mix. Pour the mixture into the Ziploc. We select patterns of figures and prepare bright 3-dimensional paints. Cut off the tip of the bag. Fill the contours with paint. Put the picture on a baking sheet and send it into the oven for 5 minutes at a temperature of 200 degrees. Bulk items can be left on the sheet, or you can cut them out and decorate a notebook. We can turn our boring drinking glasses into something more festive in just 5 minutes. We'll need some acrylic paint of different colors and a pencil with an eraser at the end. Dip the eraser in paint and start stamping the glass. We get pretty bright circles. They look a lot like confetti. The glasses look awesome. Wild animals at home? Maybe only as an interior decor item. Choose some fitting wood cuttings. Paint the surfaces white with acrylic paint. Cut out an animal silhouette while the painting is drying. Apply some white glue to the dry layer of paint and glue our animal to the wood. Cover with some acrylic lacquer. It's done! And now, let's make a pretty and functional platter. We'll need wood for cutting and some furniture handles. Attach the handles to the sides of the piece of wood with a hot glue gun. The platter is almost done. Now, let's decorate it. Paint the surface of the platter with some pink acrylic paint. Leave out the edges. Paint the edges in green. Looks like a watermelon, but something is missing. Let's add some seeds. Paint the seeds with black paint using a soft brush. Now, wait for your breakfast in bed on this tasty platter. What What do toilet paper rolls and dandelions have in common? You'll find out the answer soon enough. Make some cuts about 2 to 3 centimeters long on one side of the paper roll. You should end up with something that looks like this. Dip the brush in some black acrylic paint and press it against a sheet of paper. Turn the roll to make a fluffy dandelion. With a slim brush, draw the stem and the dandelion seeds. Now we have a stylish monochrome painting. Fast and easy. A coloring sheet as a way to relieve stress? Why not? Ordinary pencils are too boring. We have an idea. Let's fill the image with colored dots. Get some crayons and a small candle. Melt the tip of the crayon and start making some colorful dots. It's a very absorbing process, and it really calms you down. How to make salt glow in all colors of the rainbow? Easy! We'll need a glass of salt and 3 tablespoons of water. Mix it all together. Tramp down the mixture into a mold and let it dry. Decorate the figure with some colored droplets and enjoy the results. Not too good at arts? With this double stroke technique, you'll fall in love with drawing. Get a flat brush and dip each side in a different color of paint. Now each stroke paints with multiple colors. Try it out! It's a lot easier than it looks. And it's very pretty. We'll make some tie-dye napkins. Roll up a napkin and fix it with an elastic band. Paint the napkin in different colors with some markers. Let the ink soak in and unroll the napkin. Looks like springtime sky. Very beautiful. To make a few identical images, you are going to need a stamp. Let's make one out of cardboard. Outline and cut out the shape of a flower on a thick piece of cardboard. Cut out the details and get rid of the excess layers of cardboard. Apply the paint with a brush to make an imprint. Good! You can experiment with different shapes and colors. We can make a colorful landscape with the help of some painting tape and a bit of talent. Stick some strips of painting tape of varying size onto a sheet of paper. Paint a yellow circle sun. Add a blue background and some light specks. Let the paint dry and carefully peel off the tape. Draw out the branches and the creeks on the birch trees with the black paint. Done! We have ourselves a beautiful birch forest. What's that? You can only use paint to paint? Well, watch this! Today, we'll show you some very interesting methods of creating paintings. One of these methods involves painting with red wine. Yes, we are not going to drink the wine, we are going to paint with wine. A brush soaked in wine leaves an intense burgundy trace. A bit of imagination, and we get an amazing Marcel painting. Drawing out each leaf is time-consuming and boring. In this video, a black tree trunk will grow a gorgeous purple bush in a matter of minutes. We're going to apply the paint with a clothespin and a sponge instead of a brush. Add some white and orange. Very simple, yet beautiful. We'll paint this watercolor tree with an ordinary stationery file. Apply a few different shades of watercolor to the film. Transfer the paint onto a piece of paper, smoothing out the file with your hands. Add a trunk and some branches with black. The fairy tree is ready! You should definitely consider using plant leaves and branches in your art process. By turning these gifts of nature into stamps, we'll be able to make some amazing art on paper and fabric. Business as usual, apply the paint and make an imprint. Ivy leaves make some good star-shaped marks. Also, the thuja and cypress tree branches imprints look spectacular on a dark background. And this pine beauty merits its own frame. It's well known that some painters use charcoal as a painting material, but could we use a tablet of activated charcoal? Turns out we can! Activated charcoal is very visible on white paper and the tablet is easy to hold. Our black chamomile is ready! It turned out very beautiful! A pill for your ills! Painters know that an art eraser is an indispensable tool when drawing with pencils. But what can you do if the drawing is almost done and you don't have the right tool? We'll just use some bread instead. Get the crumb and squeeze it in your hand. The bread will lighten up the drawing and add some specks. That magic eraser isn't so indispensable after all. Subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and press on the bell icon to be the first to watch our next video.